Big LK Barrett, how you guys doing? Listen, man. I'm talking about the misinformation of Kyrie Irving, but this is really called, I call it this: the slave, the Jew, and the gentleman. The slave, the Jew, and the gentleman. You're here making breakfast with me this morning. Listen, one of the things that I have to take accountability for myself is my desire to make sports personalities and entertainers become activists for my mentality and for my own personal blackness. This is what I'm not going to do to Kyrie. I'm not going to force a narrative that says if Kyrie doesn't quit, which many of us want him to do, if Kyrie doesn't hold out and not adhere to those 6 particular criteria that they put upon him, that I'm going to be disappointed. If Kyrie doesn't, shuck the system and, give up all those millions of dollars, I'm not going to put that on Kyrie and say, if Kyrie doesn't do all that, then I'm going to be very disappointed in Kyrie. No. This is what Kyrie Irving did for me, okay? Kyrie Irving caused me to look at myself, to look into myself and recognize who I am, right? Recognize where this black man comes from, and recognize also how other people see us. Other people see us as that slave who, you know what? He might be able to play a little bit of basketball. Let me turn you. He might be able to entertain us, but at the end of the day, he's just a slave. And who sees us as a slave? If you own slaves, if your family or your ethnicity has a history of owning slaves, and now you freed them, and now they're just multimillionaire slaves, multimillionaire individuals, you will never let that slave usurp your authority. What Kyrie has done for me is he's made me understand how many Jewish people see black people, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat that. Have you seen the way Michael Rappaport has been going on about this? Michael Rappaport is the most unreligious Jew in the history of Jews. He might as well be Judas. Michael Rappaport, all of a sudden, now he's a Jew again, telling us we can't say Jew, we have to say Jewish. Michael Rappaport is the most inflammatory, disgusting speaker to black men when he disagrees with them. The way he talks about Kyrie, the way he talks about Kanye, the way he talked about LeBron James in the past. Michael Rappaport now is all of a sudden this high moral Jew. And it shows that how people will take it upon themselves to talk about us in the excellence of what we're doing, and decide that they don't have any. Now you don't have to talk to us any level of respect. You don't have to have any kind of respect. You can get on social media, and he used to be funny, but now I don't consider Michael Rappaport funny. He's a tough guy, and if he's a tough guy, he should be treated like a tough guy. Michael Rappaport, I hope you see this, because you're not funny no more. You're not the cute little Jewish guy who's just funny saying stuff and it's cute. It's not cute anymore, because now you've claimed your Zionist Judaism. You've claimed it now. Now you've decided that you're a Jew again. Jew. I'm not going to say Jewish as you told me, because that's a proper term. You decided that you're a Jew again, and now you're owning that space for clout, right? You're owning your own ethnicity for clout where you never claimed it before. It's very funny. You should thank Kyrie for reminding you that you're a Jew. And now Jewish people, now as I start to dive into the current mentality the Jewish people have towards us, I'm quite amazed that, I went from the slave to the Jew. I'm quite amazed that Jewish people really are probably the most polarizing group of individuals that we currently have. And I'm not talking as a secularist. I'm talking as a Christian man who understands that my Savior came in the line of Judah. I'm talking as that But I'm not talking about the religious aspect. I'm going to post a link. Do Jewish people really wish for converts to be part of their bloodline? Will a Jewish family say, you know what? It's okay to be a convert, but I don't want a convert to come in and marry my daughter. I want a convert to come in and marry my son. No. You're polarizing. In fact, that defies the Mosaic law. Question? Yeah, we'll just do another. We'll do like two different ones. I'll get 6 of these in it. It's polarizing because the Torah doesn't differentiate from a convert to Judaism. Most of the Ashkenazi are converts. Most of the Polish, European, most of the Ashkenazi Jews, you're converts. But you ask a current day Jew if he would want his children to marry a convert, they'll tell you no. I'll link a link for you. They'll say no because they used to be a Gentile. No, they're not Jewish by ethnicity. No, they won't be 100% Jewish. They'll say that to us. Right? Did not we see in the Bible, we look in the Old Testament, in your Old Testament, isn't Ruth a convert? Did not Esther or Hadassah, did she not marry a secular king? Did not Joseph marry the daughters of Pharaoh, and his children now are not 100% Israel? So how now can the modern day Jew say that they're not interested in their children marrying non-Jews or Jewish converts? See, so the modern day Jew is not a biblical Jew. That's my problem with you. You're not a biblical Jew. And when you cease to be a biblical Jew, this is my question to you. What are you? What are you? If you're not a biblical Jew, if you're saying that you follow the Mosaic law, but you don't, then what are you? And that's what I say. You're a Zionist. You're an individual who's interested in securing the ethnicity of your Aboriginal heritage. And that's not Jewishness. That's not Jewishness. That's never been historically Jewish. And so when I listen to Kyrie Irving, he's always been a gentleman to you. Everything that he has said, he's been a gentleman. The slave, the Jew, and the gentleman. That's what this is called. He's never said anything that has been strong, that's been aggressive. He's never said anything that's been insulting. He called Jews his Jewish brothers. He said, you know what, I didn't think about how this would affect the healing process of my Jewish brothers. And you want to quote him for something he never said. So now let me say it. Let me say what he's never said. There's been more than one Holocaust. Jews had had a Holocaust, sure. But there's been more than one real Holocaust. The greatest Holocaust in the world is the Middle Passage, where 100 million Africans came across the Middle Passage and died. Most of them died in that sea. That's the first, and that's the greatest Holocaust in the history of the world. There's also a Holocaust in Congo, where the Belgian king killed millions of Congolese. That's a bigger Holocaust. Okay? Rwanda is another Holocaust. There's been plenty of Holocausts. And the Jewish Holocaust is not the only one. Let me say that for you. The Jewish Holocaust was a Holocaust, but it wasn't the biggest. It wasn't the only one. It was the one that hit you. And it's the one that you want to keep reminding us about. But the facts of the matter is that black people have been dealing with a Holocaust longer than you. And they still deal with it in North America. And they still deal with it. And that's what Kyrie never said to you, but he should have. He should have. But I'm going to say it now. Because he's too much of a gentleman to say it. But I'm just a slave. I'm just a slave. I'm just an individual that the Jew looks at and says, Goyim, Goyim, not important. He hates us. He's speaking anti-Semitic. How can we be anti-Semitic when the Afro-Shemitic Hebrew was a black man? When you are just converts, when by their own testimony of modern day Jews, especially of the Ashkenazi, because not all of you are converts. Some individuals are historically Jewish from a very long time, but some are not. But how can you look at us and say, I would never let you marry my daughter? Because some people could never be Jewish enough for some Jews. So, don't hold Kyrie Irving to this high standard. If he holds out and he's able to walk away from his career, I've been praying for Kyrie every day. God bless him and God help him. But if he has to do what they're forcing him to do, which is break him, which is humble him, which is tell him again, you're not a gentleman, you're not a Jew, you're a slave, in order for you to play this sport that we run. And that's Kyrie's burden to bear. That's Kyrie's life, and it's none of my business. But I know who I am. And I know what he's awakened us to know and awakened us to see. See the fact that not everybody sees you as a human. See the fact that not everybody sees you as equal. See the fact that the same people that are crying out bloody murder right now are the same individuals that enslaved our ancestors not even 200 years ago. So ladies and gentlemen, as much as a Christian is supposed to support Israel, understand that there's a true Israel. Understand that there's a good Samaritan. Understand that there's a real Jew, and then there's people that are simply Zionists, that are simply white supremacists dressed up as Judaism. Understand that there's a secularist who claims Judaism but doesn't reclaim the God or the sentiment of the religion. Kyrie Irving, no matter what direction you take, little brother, no matter what you have to do to get yourself right, whether or not you fall on your sword and walk away from the game, or whether or not you allow these people to corral you to do what you have to do to get back in the game that you love, we're still with you. The slave, the Jew, and the gentleman. This is Del K. Brereton. Like, share, and subscribe. And if you're mad, I meant to make you mad.